This is Sparta!
Welcome to my channel. I'm Dr. NBA. Today I'll be talking about an NBA star. There are three types of shots that players often use in this sport. There's the layup, where players run to the paint zone and lightly sip the ball through it. Mid-range and three-point shots, where a wrist snap motion is used. And a dunk, where either one or both hands are slammed on the rim to make the shot. And of these shots, the dunk has to be the most impactful one. And if during the game, an in-your-face dunk happens, the court immediately fills in with the cheer of the fans. In this video, I'm going to be introducing Blake Griffin, who received the most cheer from the fans. When he was a rookie, he destroyed multiple NBA veterans with just his dunks, and was recognized as the best rookie of the 21st century. He first started dunking when he was only 13 years old, and when he entered the NBA, his dunks could not be outshone by anyone, even those who were deemed as dunk kings in NBA history. We're going to see how powerful his dunks are right now. Griffin was born in 1989 in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma, and was half Caucasian and half African American, with his mother's white race being more prominent than his father's black race. Him and his brother, who were 2 years older, were homeschooled by his mother. She always emphasized diligence, kindness, and generosity to the Griffin brothers. And their father was a former basketball player, so they naturally played sports. And not only did they learn basketball, but also baseball, American football, etc. However, he started focusing on basketball in high school after setting the NBA as his goal. In 2003, he enrolled in Oklahoma Christian School, where his brother was attending, and played in the league games with his brother at the coaching of his father. The brothers' teamwork was unlike any other on court, and when Blake Griffin broke through the defense and dunked, it was so powerful that it demoralized the senior players. Thanks to his robust physique and basic skill traits that he got from his father's coaching methods, he won the 03-04 season without a single loss, and also won the next season with only 2 losses. After his brother, who was a team captain, enrolled in the University of Oklahoma, Griffin took on the position and did all his best to not let his team down. As a result, his team was able to win state championships 3 times in a row. On top of that, he won again in the next year with only 3 losses total. He completed his 4-year high school basketball career with an outstanding record of 106 wins, 6 losses, and 4 consecutive wins. After high school, he enrolled in the University of Oklahoma, and just like high school, he was able to run on court with his brother in NCAA Division I. From this point on, Griffin's name started to spread across the United States. As a big man, he had steady dribble and fast speed, and his insane vertical automatically led to a powerful dunk. His mid-range shots were also accurate, and despite being a freshman, he scored the most in his team and advanced his team to the NCAA tournaments. But they lost in the second round, and even though Griffin was prepared to enter the NBA, he remained in the team to achieve the NCAA championship. In the 08-09 season, he won 12 consecutive games and once again advanced to the NCAA tournaments, and on top of that made it to the regional finals. Although he didn't win, he set yet another outstanding record of an average of 22.7 points, 14.4 rebounds, and 65% shot success rate. He was recognized as the best offensive player in the University League, and as a result, won all of the Player of the Year awards from each of the 6 sponsors. Successfully completing his university basketball career, he received a lot of attention from the media, and entered the 2009 NBA draft, and was picked first and went first overall by the LA Clippers, and finally achieved his goal of becoming an NBA player. Before the regular season, there's always a summer league in the preseason. The players that participate in this league are usually unknown or new players who have gone through the NBA drafts that want to test their skills, and Griffin was one of them. His overall scoring ability improved, and the most surprising thing was that he was shooting his 3-point shots with more confidence than before, though it didn't mean that the success rate was high. However, he did succeed to make the shot in no-mark situations, and by leading the team in various ways, he easily won the Summer League MVP. And through that, Griffin was assessed by the public to be able to show good performance in the regular NBA season. Griffin was proudly able to show great performance and would show powerful dunks every time. However, Due to his landing, he suffered a left knee injury and had to get surgery, which resulted in not being able to participate in the 09-10 season. As a result, he participated in the 10-11 season as a redshirt rookie player. Recovering and upgrading his skills during his time off, Griffin was able to set a record of 20 points and 14 rebounds and successfully became a starter. And in less than a month, he set yet another tremendous record of 44 points, 15 rebounds, and 7 assists in a single game, to the point where the opponents wouldn't even dare to block. His powerful dunks and physical defense under the goal was similar to that of an unstoppable wild beast. Unlike a typical power forward, his dribbling and ball gathering skills were very stable, and his signature spin move, where he spins his body around the defender, and his layup and dunks were difficult for opposing veteran players to block. And on top of that, he was able to make his mid-range three-point shots in an unmarked situation. And even though Griffin was outside the goal, the opposing player had to go defend him, and if they were tricked by his fake, that would allow him to drive through and take the shot. In almost all the games, Griffin recorded a 2-digit score in both his points and rebounds, achieving a double-double and even one against the Miami Heat, the strongest team in which LeBron was a part of. After the match, LeBron said in an interview, "There's no way he's a rookie," and showed disappointment in his team's loss. He always showed confidence in one-on-one plays because of his skilled ball handling and his selflessness, and broad perspective allowed him to assist his open teammates. Because of his all-round skills, he set a record of 47 points per game, the best record in his rookie season. Fans were impressed by his veteran-like play that showed no signs of rookie-like characteristics, and as a result, he had the honor of being picked as an all-star despite being only a rookie. And in a dunk contest, he jumped over a Kia car and won the championship after accomplishing other advanced dunking skills. His outstanding performance was consistent even after the All-Star season, and after the season he rose to the title of Rookie of the Year. And his record of an average of 22.5 points, 12.1 rebounds, and 3.8 assists were the best amongst the rookies of the 21st century. And Griffin overcame the anxiety of injury and participated in all 82 games and successfully completed his rookie season. Although he was the Rookie of the Year, his team, the LA Clippers, were ranked 13th in the Western Conference with 32 wins and 50 losses. To make improvements, the Clippers decided to recruit the two-time assist leader, point guard Chris Paul, and anticipated the synergy between him and Griffin. But unfortunately, their team play was not compatible as expected. Griffin often set screens for Paul and would move towards the basketball to receive a pass, known as the pick-and-roll tactic, but their teamwork didn't mix well, and his screen wasn't effective. It did not have any effect on the opposing player, and his timing of going into the key area was relatively fast. And though the timing is one of the many offensive tactics, their constant use of this allowed the opponents to predict their moves. And on top of that, the opposing players began to predict Griffin's play and pattern movement. By adding an extra defenseman during his signature spin move, Griffin's play and attack was oppressed to a certain extent. Fortunately, his pick-and-roll tactic with Chris Paul improved, and also his team's assists improved more than the previous season, which resulted in the Clippers entering the playoffs for the first time in 6 years. Though they were eliminated in the second round by losing all 4 games, the teamwork amongst the core players mixed well, which allowed them to fight for the championship. 5 years later, in the 17-18 season, as expected, the Clippers always ranked as the top 4 teams in the regular season and entered the playoffs as well. However, they were always defeated in the second round. They were never able to enter the next round, which was the Western Conference Finals, and one of the reasons was Griffin's defense. Griffin and Chris Paul's pick-and-roll tactic was now close to flawless, and though his free throws, mid-range and three-point shooting improved, his physical strength and timing when it came to blocks were unstable. His lack of physical strength was because he was losing weight starting his second year. During his rookie years, he weighed over 265 pounds, which his knees could not hold up. And even though it meant that he would lose physical strength, weight loss was essential to prevent any probable injuries. His arms, compared to other players of similar height, were short, which made blocking harder for him. And plus that, He lacked the skill to determine when the shot release of the opponent would be made, which also made him lose many points. And on top of that, he was never in the best physical condition because of what he showed in the beginning of his career, his aggressive dunks. No matter who's in front of him, he always made in-your-face dunks. But the problem was that he would almost always land on one foot, which gave pressure to his knee and ankle, making him more prone to injury. And not just that, opposing players would also aggressively push Griffin whenever he jumped, which induced injury as well. If pushed in a defenseless state during a jump, stable landing is difficult, and in that process, there's a high chance of the ankle breaking and muscle tearing as well. Furthermore, when a physical fight breaks out trying to grab the ball, both unexpected minor and major injuries take place. Griffin's body was covered in bruises after the games, so he slowly started shooting away from the paint zone, and in the past he would make more than 3 dunks per game, but it slowly decreased, and in the 16-17 season, he scored only 1 dunk each game. He was known as the best dunker in the league, but in order to prevent injury, he had to minimize dunking, and starting the 15-16 season, his efforts turned to ashes. On December 25th, 2015, he tore his thigh muscle and underwent surgery, and as a result, he was out of the season for more than 3 months. During his time off, he punched the team staff who criticized his performance and ended up fracturing his hand. Following his thigh surgery, he underwent a knee surgery in the 16-17 season and suffered a toe injury during the playoffs, and his team was eliminated in the first round. Frequent injuries slowed down his speed, and his predatory-like tendency to attack in the early days had disappeared, and the expectation of becoming the best power forward in the NBA and the praise he received during his rookie years were all gone. The team's key player, Chris Paul, was disappointed at the Clippers, which he was a part of for 6 years, and decided to move to another team. In this hopeless situation, Griffin started the 17-18 season, and as the 1-month mark approached, he got injured yet again. The knee injury occurred while trying to charge the ball, and the Clippers decided that they could no longer take on Griffin. And as a result, they traded Griffin to the Detroit Pistons during the season. He was 28 at the time, and his physical condition and mindset were beyond the point for him to go back to his prime years. Griffin was reduced to a mediocre player. However, in the 18-19 season, there was a turn of events. He was responsible for leading his team's score and won 4 consecutive times, and even marked his career high of 50 points. Although he didn't dunk as much, he made shots not only under the basket, but also in the mid-range and three-point line, as well as in assists, and transformed into the prime example of an all-around power forward. This made blocking for the opposing team harder, and Griffin's offense became much smoother. In today's game, the big man is expected to make three-point shots, and meeting this expectation, he marked the peak of his career in the 18-19 season of an average of 24.5 points, and was picked as an all-star for the first time in 4 years, and encountered the second round of his prime time. However, he suffered yet another knee injury during the playoffs and experienced all sorts of hardships. But thankfully, he was able to participate more than he did when he was in the Clippers. And before, he often screwed up the games because he wasn't able to keep his cool during important situations. However, since being in the Pistons, he often made the winning shot right before the end of the game. And because of that, the outlook on him as a coward began to fade. Although his athletic ability and his beast-like dunks were harder to witness, Griffin received the chance to re-experience his prime years. And his brilliant dribbles, passes, diversified offensive skills, and improved jumps are expected to bring about a new side of him for the fans. Amongst all the power forwards, I personally admire Griffin the most, and I hope that he will proceed with his career without any serious injuries. This is all for today. Thank you for watching, and I'll be back with more videos soon. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to subscribe.